So I've been incredibly busy over the weekend competing in the Daytona 24, and I suddenly realised I didn't have a video for the main channel today. However, I did think this would be a good excuse to talk to you guys about F1 League racing. I get asked about it all the time in the comments on plenty of videos, so today I thought I'd showcase some of the leagues I've been competing in once more. This is going to be highlights from my return to WOR, otherwise known as World Online Racing. I'm posting highlights from this series and also LCR that I'm competing in over on my second channel. Highlights from each series, so there should be 2 videos a week of F1 League racing. I also do iRacing. I'm planning on doing some ACC as well over there in the future, so there is plenty more racing content from myself. I'll make sure to leave a link down in the description as well. A massive thank you to all of you that have supported me over on that channel already over the last few weeks and months. But yeah, F1 League racing is back. It's just in a different place. Like I said, links down in the description below, and hopefully you enjoy my return to WOR. It is a fantastic and unpredictable race. Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with some more F1 League racing. This time around we're here with WOR. Yes, World Online Racing, a pretty well-known league around the world of F1 esports. We're jumping in, we're in F7 for this season. It is, I'll be honest, it's the lowest of the completely no assist splits. But, you know, it's a good place to start out, you know, getting back into league racing. I'm hoping as we get towards F1 2023, I'll be a lot more confident once again and then be able to try and sort of hit up some of the more decent or higher up splits, if you will. But if you are new around here, make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed as well for more F1 22 league racing content. We're actually here at Brazil, just like the LCR season opener that went up a couple of weeks ago. Hopefully, though, this one will go a bit better for us. I've made some setup tweaks, so I'm hoping that turn 6, we're not just going to spin every time round. But, yeah, new league, new competition. Let's see how this goes. Right, well, let's find out then. Is it going to be raining here at Interlagos to kickstart the season? Well, it looks sunny on Saturday. It's sunny all weekend long. That's always the first thing that I love to see on F1 22. But, yeah, that's definitely not the setup I was going to be running. That looked all very, very weird and wonderful then, just for a brief moment. For those of you that want to know what the setup is I'm rocking on the car, make sure you give it a pause at any point there. Just slow the video down or something like that. Yeah, we'll keep this front suspension, front anti-roll bar where it is. But, like I said, just you try and get some clean, tidy laps in. Of course, struggled with that in LCR, so fingers crossed it won't be an issue today. We're just going out for a quick tester run then on a set of medium compound tyres early on. Are we going to spin as we head up through here? Look at that! No spinning so far. We did only do one run and it was an awful line, but that's what I love to see. Hopefully that's now a thing of the past that we've tuned out of the car. That is quite impressive to decide that's session done. 4 minutes in. Fair play, Adam. Brave. Well, now it's just a case of trying to make sure that we get one good lap hooked up on the soft tyres. We've got 11 minutes left of qualifying. In the ideal world, I would say one set ready for the race, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. That's not going to help me either. Luckily, because Brazil is such a short track, if you mess up like that at the start of the lap, you can normally save the fuel and go for another one, which we're going to attempt to do and actually make it round. Oh, just got on the throttle too early through the final corner. We were about 6 tenths up, I think, and we definitely made a mistake around there on my previous lap as well. So a bit of a disappointment at the end of my run there, but we know there is good pace in the car. I definitely can get down in towards the low 8s. It is just about getting that one lap nailed.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
Right, final run then here in qualifying. We've got to make this one count if we're on a decent representative on the softs. I don't know what it is about Brazil, but I just apparently cannot get laps hooked up round here. We're only going to get one more shot. I know I've got pace to be in the low 8s. But even that won't see us particularly high up the grid. Just overcommitted on the way in. P18 on the grid. That's been an absolute disaster. I did that twice in that session there. Just tipped it in a bit too aggressively. But yeah, first few corners that lap have been pretty good. But it's going to be right at the back then of the grid ready for the start of this one. Hopefully it means we can avoid a lot of the carnage early on. We're only a second and a half away there, so we probably would have only been about half a second, 6/10 away from pole. And of course, as always, I've set this car up entirely to be quick in the race. Well, I've got to give him credit at the front of the field there. How on earth Talon and oh, sorry, I'm going to butcher your name. The McLaren driver have set identical times. That's insane. This isn't F1 Esports. P5 and 6 have done exactly the same as well there. This is mad. We won't look at where we've qualified on the grid, down in P18. But, I mean, only, like I said, only a second and a half away there with no decent lap on the board. This could be quite an interesting race then. It's going to be all about the slipstream. But starting from 18th, where are we going to be able to recover to here today? Right, we're having a look then on the strategy. I think we're going to have to go with the normal F1 2022 strat of hards over onto mediums. Yeah, it's a gamble, though. It is a gamble for us, because like I said, I like to normally build up confidence early on in a GP, but, you know, if safety car comes out or something like that, we've got to be prepared, ready to change up the strategy if needed. I've got no idea how much spare fuel I need to rock either, so we're going to roll with that, I guess. And we'll wait and see whether we get a safety car today. Oh, there's no formation lap. Okay, I was not expecting that. 5 red lights. Someone's jumped it, but it is lights out, and away we go. And like I said, I was really not expecting no formation lap there as we head down in towards turn 1. Just keep it clean and tidy. Like I said, someone's already disconnected. What on earth has gone on there? And we've lost half the wing and we've got a virtual safety car. 5-second penalty for a severe collision? Are you having me on? That's pretty much been as bad as the last race I did on this game. We've now got cars stopped. That's been a bit of a disaster. I'm amazed it's not a full safety car. What on earth is going on? Oh, it is a full safety car. That saved us immediately then. Otherwise, we were going to be in a world of hurt. So we'll box the end of this one. We'll get the wing changed, and then we'll do double mediums, apparently, to the end. Oh, our teammates into the pits as well then. So it definitely has been a chaotic start to the GP. But we should also, with a bit of luck, be able to get this 5-second penalty taken away as well. Yes, it will serve the penalty, despite us being in the safety car there. But somehow one of the McLarens got a huge lead off the start, so I got no idea what happened behind them, but it was pretty chaotic. I was waiting for our teammate to get a new front wing on the car. I mean, we're basically still going to be in last place, I think, by the time we re-emerge at the pit lane. Oh, come on, mate! He's just walking along! He's not even hurrying! Oh, he didn't need to, of course. I got the penalty, haven't I? This is going to be one of the longest pit lanes in the world, but finally getting the new wing onto the front of the car. We are still in last place then. Going to get that penalty taken away. Let me go. There we go. 5-second penalty served as well. We haven't lost anything too badly. Actually gain a freebie here as well as one of the Red Bulls in the pits. So, yeah, we should be up then into P18 of the GP. Oh, safety car in at the end of this lap, so we're going to have to get on with it and plunge back up. It's just, again, I think that first lap's really set the tone, so it might be quite a chaotic race. So yeah, we've just got to try and keep the car clean, keep it out of trouble. That's going to be the key throughout most of the afternoon. But waiting then the front runners to get this race going once again, preparing to resume racing. We're just going to keep it nice and tidy. Don't go into the back of the Williams once again, as they really are trying to wait a long time. Are we going? I think we're going. We're going. By the looks of it. So we'll immediately try and get the jump on the Williams, as someone's picked up a drive through behind. And the Williams not wanting anything of it. Oh, a lot of contact down at turn 1. This car's just trying to make it through. Alpine rejoining the circuit, and he's just collected someone off of turn 1. So more carnage and chaos early on in this GP. We're going to try and get a run on the Ferrari as we head down the Assetto Corsa. Of course, he's on the soft tyres. Actually going to give me the room and let me by. So we're up another spot then early on. Back into P13 then of this GP. The lofty heights as McLaren again has bolted off the restart. More carnage going on. Still this disconnected Mercedes that's been here since the start. And we've almost gone from P18 to the points inside a lap here. This is quite chaotic, I fear. So we'll get past the Merc as well. Yep, P11 then already. Another car into the pit lane then, so we are going to be into the points by the end of lap 4 there. It's been chaotic, to say the least, early on, as we got another car disconnected. This might be another freebie. Yeah, the Aston Martin there of Donk Dank. Looks like they've disconnected as well, so P9 of this race. That's 9 places made up in a lap and a half. Just got to try and now stay in the DRS of this Aston Martin. He seems pretty quick. So we've got more yellow flags out. I think one of the Mercs is gone. Careful on the rejoin. P8. Aston Martin there a little bit wide as we head out of Jung Sao. Are we going to be able to get a run out of the final corner? I am running quite high wings, unfortunately, which might compromise us quite a lot of this race. Just look at the way he just pulls away. I wanted to be comfortable through Sector 2, but he's going to be applying pressure on the AlphaTauri back into Turn 1. We've just got to try and see if we can get a run off the first couple of turns. See if we can sneak through. Just about there, get the nose to the inside. I did get worried I was going to get turned in on, but we do make it by. And we're into P7 then. That was a bit more optimistic by me, but fair play to the AlphaTauri for spotting me there last second. See if we can try and shift past this Aston Martin next. There's the McLaren 1-2. So the Aston Martin running slowly through the middle sector. He's actually going to give me the room. We'll have a look to the inside through the next corner. Try and slot ourselves up another spot then, but it's probably not going to be worth it, because he should just be able to get back past me down the straight. Keep the nose there. We will out-traction him. Oh, he's actually looped it onto the infield, so I think we're going to still lose the place to the Red Bull at the final corner, but we are in MP6 of this GP early on. Is the Red Bull going to be able to get the run on me as we head back up towards Turn 1? We're going to force him to the outside. We're not going to get that much extra speed though, as we'll just play it. Whoa! Really easy into Turn 1 there. A little bit loose and heavy on the throttle. Just try and put the power down on the exit. Hamilton Verstappen now as we head down in towards Turn 4. I've used way too much battery early on in this GP as well, but we defend for now, and now we've got to try and push through the middle sector to keep this place and build up a bit of a gap. Oh, I got one of the Mercs breathing down my neck though. As we're about to start lap 10 of this race, around the outside he'll have a look. He'll actually mug me off nicely into the braking zone there. Uses the corner and the track undulation to his advantage there to swoop around the outside. Are we going to be able to get a run though off the corner? No, we'll let him use some battery. May as well try and save some battery behind him there. He does seem quite quick in that Merc. Maybe he can drag us along towards the front runners. So just hit with a little bit of dirty air. Let's just keep going. Let's work together, Barney. Oh, we've got the other flags. No, someone's gone. Sadly, it's a car a lap down. And now the Merc has done a good job of dragging me up towards these next 3 cars. As to the outside, I think it's the Haas. He's going to try back down towards Turn 1. Sadly, they're all just breaking away from me slightly. We do need to try and keep hold of this DRS as all side by side. Through Turn 2, they'll go. The Haas car, whoa, we'll loop it round and we will get up to P6 once more. So easy to make mistakes around Brazil. It does feel sometimes like you're driving on ice around this venue, but just got to keep avoiding errors and seeing how many more other cars will make. Here we go, Merc on the offensive again then. They're going to go side by side with the AlphaTauri back down into the Assetto Corsa, but the AlphaTauri there somehow hooking it up around the outside. Must have had pretty low wings and been using battery, I think, to hang on there. As you can see the LED flashing on the back of that car. Maybe that's going to leave them more vulnerable. We've still got about 1/3 of the charge, but I would have loved to have had a bit more, to be honest. A bit of a wobble there, as what worries me is the Red Bull has closed all the way back up, despite the earlier problems there, as that Merc is really trying to find a way through anywhere. Oh! Oh, someone else has gone. That's the Alpine. And suddenly we're P5 then. That was a bit unexpected. Everyone had been settled down quite nicely into a rhythm recently, as the Merc's going to have a look on the AlphaTauri. We're going to have one of the Red Bulls getting a bit closer, but not quite close enough, I don't think. So the Merc will slide through. I think the AlphaTauri, like I said, is running very, very low on battery at the moment. We're still really struggling. I feel like I'm having to manhandle the car around the circuit quite a bit at the moment, as Red Bull again won't try anything. But now I'm a bit worried that that Mercedes is just going to bolt away. Are we going to be able to get a run then on the AlphaTauri at the final corner? He's got no DRS off of the Mercedes, so we might be able to do something as we head back down towards the start-finish line. No, we're not going to actually gain much at all. As we head up towards the line, you can see it's still using a lot of battery, so we might be able to do something as we head through 1, 2 and 3. Out of the centre S will go. Really try and get good pick up that time round, which we have done. Going to try and go defensive. We're going to have to use a bit of battery as we head down the Assetto Corsa to the outside. And luckily we will swoop through and up then into P4. of this race.
Good job.
Team happy with that one. One of the McLarens further up's got a penalty as well. I think I'm still yet to get a warning. I think there's new fast lap of the day coming in. A 1:10.4. Oh, there we go. McLaren into the pit lane then. So for the first time today, we are going to be up into the podium places. They're probably going to box the end of this one, or maybe go one further. So we're basically just trying to do half a race on each set of these mediums, but still trying to avoid warnings like the plague. It's always the case for me. If I get one, then I end up getting like 6. But keeping the Red Bull at bay still, he's definitely got a lot more straight line speed than me. And sadly, we're not gaining much through the middle sector either. That is very, very close to a warning. Merc as well is pulling away slightly, but nothing too crazy. End of lap 19, though, we are going to box at the end of this one. No point dragging out one set of tyres just to not take enough out of the next there, as Merc as well into the pit lane, but he has got a 5-second stop go. So make sure we get the car slowed down, nice and tidy on pit entry there. But yeah, Mercedes with a 5-second stop go as well, so we will re-emerge ahead. We are still certainly within the battle for the podium in this GP, as make sure we get the optimal turn-in point, and make sure as well the team do a good job on the tyres, and there we go. We will be up. Let's head back out the pit lane then. We're still actually going to be inside the points as well. It's just got to be so easy on pit exit, so easy to try and gain a couple of tenths and lose a lot of time in the second half of this GP as you try and get as close to the wall on the exit. We'll be racing one of the Williams out of the pits, but we are going to be clean through. Let's just settle down, warm up these cold tyres and hit some laps. Going to gain another one then. Someone heading back out of the pit lane. That is the Alpha Tauri. So if we can leave him battling with the Merc, that would be quite nice. McLaren up the road as well with a 3-second penalty. He is on the hard, so we should be theoretically quicker than him throughout most of the second half of this GP. There could still be a good result on here. Another one in through the pit lane. I think that's the Alpine car. And we're back to P5. Both of the front runners actually on the hard, so I'll wait and see if we've actually got a bit of a pace advantage over them. I think this might be our final 2 then into the pit lane, so we should be back into P3 of the GP. It's going to be close actually on pit exit there as we try and put the power down at turn 1 though. We will be comfortably through. That Red Bull though I think is going to be the big threat in the second half of this race, and only about a second and a half behind. Got to manage the battery. Need to try and get into the DRS range of that McLaren. Well, 10 laps to go then. Sadly, this Red Bull... Oh, I've double shifted. That's not going to do me any favours. Sadly, yeah, the Red Bull, I think he's just a bit too quick at the moment. Our battle is really with the McLaren, I think, for the final podium position here. So if we can try and use that Red Bull just to stay close, that might be the way to go towards the end of this race. We've still got a couple of quick cars behind us, though, as, like I said, not really going to try and fight this guy as we head out of the centre S there. Just have it, buddy. Drag me with you, please. So we've got 2 seconds still over that Merc, but yeah, we're still looking after everything quite nicely. I think still yet to get a warning in this race, but Red Bull, I'm counting on you to drag me to the flag. Oh, first warning. That's annoying. I was really hoping we could make it through this entire thing without one. Like I said, we've just got to be careful now, because often after one warning, I tend to pick up more. Oh no, we're out of the range of the cars in front, and the Merc behind me is closing in. We've still got 6-7 laps to go of this race. You know, I've definitely ran 2 high wings here today, and now I'm worried that the Merc's going to be able to use the Red Bull to drag himself further along. Sorry, the McLaren even, I should say. It's so difficult strategically late on in the afternoon. We've really got to hope things fall into place for us. I would still love a podium here, but I can't help but feel like the Mercedes behind might just claim it away from us. Oh, I've used way too much battery as well. We're into the final 10%. This will be where the car's even slower down the straights. Not that we could get much slower there, as here goes the Merc up the inside at turn 1. He will slot through and up into effectively P3. That's close. As someone, I think, has just retired from the race, but can we try and stay with the Merc to get up to the McLaren? Of course, we still should get the McLaren on the penalties, but unless someone else can pick up a 3-second time penalties, that was lucky that we didn't get a second warning. We are just not quite got enough. Oh no, that's stupid. Second warning. It's on this McLaren up the road as well. Just runs a bit wide. We've got to be so careful they don't pick up another one. Now really are starting to cut it fine, starting to push the limits towards the end of this afternoon. No! No, no, no! Oh, as soon as I clipped the bump, I knew that was going to be trouble. We'll jump out the way of the Alpine. Oh, that is heartbreaking. Late on in the day, we just clipped the bump. I felt the back end come round on me, and any slim hopes we had of that podium are completely gone now. We'll see if we can close back up to the Alpine, but I think, yeah, he has been running very, very quickly. That is gutting. I think we've got yellow flags out. The Merc's gone. Well, that's going on late on in the day. We're up back into P5 then of this race. I mean, we're never going to get close enough to the McLaren again, but it's all kicking off late on in the day, and we've been given a freebie. Around in Junsao then to start the final lap of this GP, and we've still got the Merc right behind us, but are we going to be able to try and hang on? We've just got to save as much of the battery pack as we possibly can as we start the final lap. But look how much he's gaining on me as we get back down towards turn 1. We've got to throw some defensive blocks in on this final lap. Not defensive blocks, but you know what I mean, just defend the inside for all our worth on this final lap, and then save the battery to head back up towards the start-finish line there. You see he's gaining. But he's not quite going to be able to do anything that time around. As we get towards the bottom of the hill, we'll be able to just close the door on the exit, and we'll switch back over to the inside. Ready for the next turn. He's just going to try. I think he was actually going to try and get the old up and under on me there, but we will sit again in the middle of the road. It's all about just trying to save the battery to get the run up towards the start-finish line here. We're going to have to try and really control the pace at these final few corners. Oh, he thinks about it. We do leave the door open, just in case he was really thinking about it, in towards the final few turns, but I don't see a way we're going to be able to hang on to this as we head out the final corner. All we can do is put the throttle down, open up the taps as best as possible. That Merc has not dropped much as we head out of the final corner, as we head up towards the start-finish line. Then we completely drain the battery. Is he going to get me to the flag? It's going to be side by side. 5 thousandths of a second. We only just hang on there. I'm even more gutted. We were only a second behind Jordan come the end of that, but 5 thousandths of a second when we crossed the line there. P18 to P5 in the end. It absolutely could have been a podium. Yeah, a little bit gutted, but first points back in F1 League Racing. We'll take it. You know what? Yeah, we will take it at the end of the day there. 10 solid points on the board. And you never know whether there might be some stewards' inquiries as well. Well, having a look then at our final race results, I think we were given driver of the day there by F1 22, and really that's all that matters when all is said and done. But yeah, I mean, P1, 2, 3, 4, P2, 4 and 1 even, finished then on the podium there. McLaren, Red Bull, Alpine there, the second McLaren in P4. 5 thousandths of a second at the line, like I said, between myself and the Mercedes there, with the AlphaTauri, both Haskars and the other AlphaTauri rounding out the top 10. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed as well. I'll quickly just grab my race director actually, because I think, yeah, we did go pretty much that entire race without picking up a penalty there. Look at that for clean driving, just 2 right towards the very end. But that's going to do us though for this week's WRR action. We will return very, very soon. I can't quite remember where we're heading to next, but yeah, we'll be back very, very soon with more F1 League Racing. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.